Hello, it's the last week of April here in Brisbane. My name is Sarah Doneman.
And my name is Zoe Haasbroek, and this is Real World News. Here are your headlines.
Queensland's coroner says police protecting a violent criminal were not informed about his violent background. This contributed to Tyson Jesson's death while in police custody. Jesson was in Ipswich Hospital under police guard when he was shot.
In city news, the local Everton Park Library is finally getting a facelift. It's been over 3 decades since the last renovation, and this one is serious business. The new construction will include replacing the current building, adding computer and study spaces, and a new car park.
Billionaire Elon Musk is buying Twitter for $61 billion. Musk says he bought the company because it's not living up to its potential for free speech. He says he will also take the company private.
Uber admitted in court this week that it's been taking passengers for a ride. Apparently, Uber drivers have been cancelling trips and charging passengers anyway. This is the 3rd time in 5 years Uber has been caught doing something unsavoury, and now federal investigators want to fine the ride-sharing company $26 million.
In other transportation news, the City of Brisbane added a new electric bus to its metro fleet and will soon begin testing it on several bus routes. Don't be surprised by its appearance. It's a long black bus that can hold up to 170 passengers, and it's 100% electric.
Those are your headlines. Checking the markets now. It's time to mind your business.
A host of blue chip companies are set to release statements this week, among them Johnson & Johnson, Netflix and Lockheed Martin. This as the global markets tap the brakes. Everyone agrees the economy is robust, but in the background, Australia's central bank just bumped up interest rates by 25 basis points. The bank hopes the rate hike will slow the economy down and warns that if inflation continues, it's prepared to raise the rates again. Of course, rate increases are not good news for homeowners because mortgage rates must also climb. One banker says the average homeowner could be paying an additional $300 a month by Australia Day. In tech news, billionaire Elon Musk bought Twitter for $44 billion, and that news has many in the tech company scrambling for their exits. Musk says he bought the company hoping to improve its potential for free speech, but he's also looking at the bottom line, and that means layoffs. Tech billionaire Mike Cannon-Brookes became energy giants AGL's largest shareholder this week. After a rejected offer to purchase AGL, Cannon-Brookes informed the energy provider he had purchased 11% of their shares, allowing him an opportunity to vote against AGL's proposed breakup next month and transition to renewable energy. Finally, one tech giant is betting that the COVID-inspired home office is going to be the new normal. HP just announced a $3.3 billion bid for Poly, an audio headset manufacturer. Clearly, HP sees more Zoom calls in your near future. Checking the markets now, the Dow Jones Industrials are up by 84 points, the Nasdaq is up by 200 points, and the ASX 200 is down by 30 points. Those are your financial headlines. My name is Liliana Van Twest, and that was us minding your business. We'll see you next time.
After a week of heavy rains, we need to remember that this is the storm season. Here's a look at your weather.
I'm Tatenda Chikokikiri, and this is your weather. Darwin, sunny with clouds, 36. Cairns, late thunderstorm, 31. Brisbane, sunny and 23. Sydney, expect some rain and 17. Canberra and Melbourne, both cold with chance of snow, 6. Hobart, snow and 5 degrees. Adelaide, morning drizzle but clearing, 14. Perth, warm and 25. And Alice Springs, sunny and hot, 35. And the outlook for Brisbane this weekend has cloudy on Friday and possible storm on Saturday, clearing to another glorious day on Sunday. I'm Tatenda Chikokikiri, and this was your weather. See you next time.
The Greater Public Schools League has just finished several sports seasons. Here's a look at your sports wrap-up.
Brisbane Greater Public School District wrapped up several sports seasons this week, including cricket, swimming and rowing. Brisbane Grammar School won the cricket premiership, defeating Brisbane Boys College in the final round. It's been over 9 years since the last time they finished atop the GPS League in cricket. Brisbane Grammar also dominated the league in swimming this season. They won 5 of the 9 showcase relay programs to win top honours. BGS also claimed 9 individual victories. Now turning to rowing, the GPS celebrated its 100th anniversary of the Head of the River, and the top rowing honours went to Brisbane Boys College. That's twice in 2 years that BBC took the O'Connor Cup. Finally, the GPS hosted its debating competition, and the Churchy debate team outmaneuvered BGS and Brisbane State High to win its 3rd debate championship in a row. Those are your high school sports headlines. I'm Jordan Gibb, and this is Real World News. See you next time.
Hoping to encourage young people to launch new companies, the Queensland University of Technology just conveyed another round of entrepreneurial scholarships. Here's a conversation with one of those future business leaders.
Sarah Eisenminger founded a STEM education business, Zest Robotics, that aims to increase STEM confidence in school-age female students and attract them to a field that is often dominated by men. Welcome, Sarah. So what first inspired you to pursue your passion in STEM?
My first inspiration came from when I joined my school robotics club in high school. I was in grade 9, and when I first joined the robotics club, I walked into a classroom full of 20 or so boys where I was the only girl. And you can imagine how that would make a young high school student feel. I felt alone, kind of alienated. I felt like I didn't fit in. And most importantly, I felt like I wanted to quit. That's a problem that we're seeing time and time again in primary schools, high schools, universities, where in these clubs and in STEM classrooms, there is such a large gender gap between girls and boys. And that was one of the first times that I experienced that firsthand in my life. So that experience for me, joining the robotics club, was one of the first times that I knew I wanted to make a difference in the STEM community. So I worked with my teachers over the next 2 years to build up my experience in educating, presenting, and robotics experience as well, until I was confident enough to bring a platform to my school and to bring a platform to the community, Zest Robotics, where girls could come and feel confident learning about STEM and robotics without any gender bias.
Amazing. So tell us a bit about Zest Robotics. What is it all about?
So Zest Robotics was founded in 2019, and it's a female-led initiative that helps girls to kind of grow in the STEM space and find the confidence that they need to go out into the world and kind of make room for themselves. So we do workshops around Southeast Queensland where girls come in and they learn about robotics, engineering and STEM in general. And our goal is to equip them with the confidence, the skills, the leadership needed to then take their skills that they learn in that workshop back to their school and kind of implement their own initiatives within their school to increase that gender gap that they're seeing.
Awesome. So how do you think Zest Robotics will impact society, especially young females?
So running these workshops across Southeast Queensland, we've been seeing some pretty broad changes, but focusing in on the Sunshine Coast, especially where I grew up, I'm seeing some definite changes. For example, my first robotics competition that I went to, there wasn't a girls' team there. And then when I go back to that same competition 3 years later, when I'm volunteering, I'm then seeing there's 3, 4, 5 all-girls teams there. And they're not only just participating, but they're actually winning at some of these competitions. So these are the changes that I've been really happy to see, and it's what kind of drives my passion for my business.
That's great. Have you encountered any difficulties so far in your business journey?
So there are always difficulties being a young woman in STEM and entrepreneurship. One of them has been imposter syndrome and feeling like maybe I don't have the expertise needed to take on a business, which is definitely not true. Anyone of any age can take on a business. The other one being that girls in these spaces, they tend not to have a lot of room and their voices tend to not be heard. So one of the ways that I'm combating this with my business is giving women and girls a platform to kind of come together and learn.
Yeah, so what's next for Zest Robotics and what's your ultimate goal with your business?
In the future, we want to expand beyond Southeast Queensland. We're hoping to take it to other states in Australia and also create an online platform where students can tune in virtually to learn from our workshops. That is making our workshops a lot more accessible to people all across Australia. We also want to work to develop curriculum for teachers to use within schools as well.
Amazing. Well, that's such an important thing for young women in the world today, and I really appreciate your time talking to us.
Thank you.
So that's all we got time for today. My name is Michaela Mulvini, and this is Real World News. See you next time.
Now that COVID restrictions have lifted, the City of Brisbane has a new spring in its step. Reporter Brooke Tyndall has this report on the new swing dancing movement.
Now that COVID restrictions have been eased in Brisbane, people are finding new ways to socialise and become more active members of the community. Swing dancing is becoming increasingly popular in this post-COVID time, and I'm here at Empire Swing in Paddington to find out why.
It may seem like something of the past, but this dance studio in Paddington is proving swing dancing is making a comeback and it can be enjoyed by everyone.
I think it's the fun, the energy. It's just such an exciting dance, and it appeals to so many different age groups. So I think that's the best part about swing dancing.
Last week, the Queensland Government announced that all COVID restrictions are to be eased this coming Thursday, including the vaccine requirements. This is great news for places like Empire Swing, where COVID restrictions have made things difficult over the past 2 years.
I faced a lot of challenges because I had my first 8-week block within COVID, and so it's that stop-start coming back, trying to remember what you've learned. I think that's really hard because you don't get to be in classes and you're having to wear masks, and yet you're trying to engage with a partner you hardly know, and so you don't get to see facial expressions and really get to connect as much.
We're a partner dance, so it was hard to get together, but we also had the ability to look for other ways to present our dance. So we were doing online classes and coming back into classes with COVID, with like how do we work within maintaining a safe space.
As we start to adapt to the new normal, experts say it's important we continue to socialise and meet new people.
Nicola B., a psychology tutor from the Queensland University of Technology, says it's extremely important to socialise at this time as post-COVID social anxiety and stress is prevalent.
For many people at Empire Swing, swing dancing is a way for them to feel a part of the community again.
So now COVID's passing, we're getting out and we're seeing people more face-to-face. We've got socials running around Brisbane. So the ability for people to get back together and actually do stuff face-to-face is great.
And it's not only Empire Swing that is proving the dance style is making a comeback. Brisbane has its own community swing dancing Facebook page with over 1.3 thousand members of all ages, making it clear that swing dancing is definitely not just something of the past.
What do you say to people who think that swing dancing is dated? Come and try it. I think for a longest time, was like, is it just a bunch of old people? And it really isn't. I'm one of the youngest here, and I absolutely love it. I think it's got amazing and valuable skills. It's a worldwide dance, and now even in Brisbane, we have 3 schools popping up just because we've got the intake of students, so it's really important, and it's definitely not outdated at all.
Empire Swing runs classes in Paddington on a Monday night and Wavell Heights on a Wednesday, and a social event once a month. I'm Brooke Tyndall. This was Real World News. See you next time.
That's the news here in Brisbane. My name is Sarah Doneman.
And my name is Zoe Haasbroek, and this is Real World News. See you next time.